have a broken heart. I'm too busy to be heartbroken. There's a lot of things that needs to be done. Lord, I have a broken heart. Though I have a broken dream, I'm too busy to be dreaming of you. There's a lot of things that I've got to do. Lord, I have a broken dream. And I'm wasting all my time. I've got to drink you right off of my mind. I was told it will heal in time. Lord, I have a broken heart. And I'm crying all the time. I have to keep it all covered up with a smile. I'll be moving on for a while. Lord, I have a broken heart. Hello there, and this talk is called Perfect Peace and Harmony Exists Within the Present Moment. Now, this talk has been interrupted a few times, hopefully it won't this time. But, you know, I want to talk about in this talk, like, just before I started this, you know, you had the song, quite a depressing song probably for a lot of people. And the reason I put that song on, because I just recorded it today, and, you know, it was a broken heart or depression, whatever you want to call it, that led me into this awakening. I had a bad start to life, you could say. I was kicked out of school at the age of 14. I'm not going to go too much into it, you know, but it was depression at the age of 24 that pushed me into awakening. And it was a moment where I had enough. I had enough, and I sat down. It might have been a couch I had in my bedroom at the time, or a bed, I can't remember. But I had enough, and then all of a sudden I started to go through this transformation, which later I found was called a spiritual awakening. And I don't read books on this stuff. I don't follow external information. Everything began from this awakening. And that's it. I had enough, and I knew it was a spiritual experience. But the reason I'm talking about this is because this is what led me to this peace. You know, it wasn't peaceful at the start. Eckhart Tolle said it was for him, but it wasn't like that for me, because I still had a lot of depression. I still had issues to get over. It took till the age of 28 till the depression went away. I'm 34 on my birthday, so just about 6 years now, just under 6 years of no depression at all. Not much anxiety, hardly no anxiety, no depression at all. And don't really get triggered much, if at all. You know, I'm always in some sort of meditation. Because that's what happens when you let presence lead the way. That's what happens. Yeah, and yeah, so that's how it all began for me. Was this awakening, and then I found out that since 2012, people have been going through spiritual awakenings, and it's been going on for thousands of years. But since 2012, kind of year, that was people all over the planet have been having them. And that's ultimately what's going on. And I kept on saying before COVID-19 that something was going to happen. I said to my mum, someone reminded me on Twitter last week, this last year said, you did say that they were going to lock everywhere down. And the reason I said that is because what they really don't want is you interacting with people that are going through these awakenings, because they can have a massive effect on you. Because these people are God's chosen people. God, I just call it Source, which is the present moment. And, but it's not that anyone's better. It's you're chosen as soon as you decide to be. Because everyone on planet Earth has free will. If you choose to be free. Because freedom is a choice, slavery is a choice. Everything's a choice. You could be in prison and yet be free in your own mind. But for me, yeah, it's like what Eckhart Tolle says, you get to the point where you just can't handle it anymore, and that's what it was like for me with this awakening. But this is, Derek Acora, when he was alive, said that he met people It is shows that he did, mediumship kind of shows, and they were all under 50 and they were all going through these awakenings. So it's been happening for a while now, and ultimately, you know, I'm not going to go to conspiracy theory on you or anything like that, but in my opinion, they want to stop it. So all the hysteria that we're seeing just now is that. And also the hysteria, and see, when everything's getting cleansed and healed, like the planet, the awakening going on, when you're going through healing, or when something's getting healed, a lot of things have to come up to the surface. All the dirt and all the muck. And that's really what's happening on the planet. Because peace is coming more, and so the hysteria or the dirt has to come up, because that's what happens. When we find this when you're going through an awakening. When you're going through an awakening, the deep core issues within you are coming up. When you use ylang, you find this when you're doing your meditations. Really deep stuff within you is coming out, emotions, and getting healed. Right? Because what you're returning to is the perfect peace and harmony that exists within the present moment. And this happens through clarity. But to have clarity, you've really got to be authentic. That is honestly what all awakening is. It's just, in my awakening and a lot of other people, you know, I was so depressed that there was only the present moment left. I had enough. And so, and then you're being authentic. So my awakening came from a moment of authenticity. And it's been an alignment, ascension process, awakening process ever since, leading to that peace and becoming more apparent. Because I had enough and was present for that moment, what I actually said was, okay, presence, show me the way, because I've had enough. And then it started, and I haven't had depression, as I've said before, for nearly 6 years now. And I was pretty much suicidal in my depression. The only thing that kept me going was I thought it might change. But I could see a scenario where if it didn't change, who knows? I mean, I knew someone that killed themselves. A friend that killed himself, and you know. And that's the way some people choose to go. And with this COVID stuff, people have been doing that. But I'm not going to talk too much about that because you're not allowed. You know, but you seem to be allowed to talk about the spiritual stuff, maybe because the system or leftists or whoever it is that's taking everything down, maybe they don't understand about that. Maybe when we talk about the real core issues, like the spiritual problems on the planet, they don't understand that. Maybe they don't have the intelligence to understand it. Now, I think that's what it is. But this is the most important thing to talk about. The COVID stuff is a distraction away from our awakening, and that's what we need to get back to. Right? So we need to start being more authentic. Be honest with yourself, and this will get rid of all the muck within, and it will take you to the present moment. You'll become more present as you're authentic. You become more present, and this is the path of awakening. Now, the reason why people had to have rough awakenings or traumatic spiritual awakenings like myself was so that you wouldn't have to go through it. These people are the real spiritual teachers, right? The ones that have had the big spiritual awakenings. You get people that do courses and people that have spiritual awakening. The people that haven't had an awakening, I've never experienced an awakening, so they don't know what they're saying. You know, and so the people that have had the awakenings, they are in 5th dimension, 6th dimension, and beyond. Now, once you enter into these dimensions, you start realizing that everything's made up, and a dimension is merely a word, a name, and The only truth is the present moment. That's the only thing that's real, if anything is real. And it's merely just a dream. But you control the dream. You work within the dream. And that's all I do all the time. I just, the awakening was just like, oh, and then I seen that just to let the perfect peace and harmony within the present moment, let that lead the way. And then I started to get relentless information. The reason is when you're present, your subconscious mind, you're not accessing it because you're not present. All you need to do to access your subconsciousness and beyond the psyche into the soul consciousness is to practice presence. And that's all spiritual awakening is. That's why you hear Eckhart Tolle say it about presence, and all these people that awakened was because that's all they did. They just let go. So you don't need to do hypnotherapy. In fact, you will access all that hypnotic trance powers whilst being consciously awake. Right? That's what spiritual alignment is. It's aligning. It's almost like you're not asleep, but you're in a very deep, not sleepy state, but almost like a sleep dream state. And that's how you're accessing all your subconscious traumas without hurting from them, but able to heal from them because you're not hurting from them, but you're understanding them. This is a very deep state that you access when you start practicing presence. And so your awakening doesn't have to be as rough as mine. Just practice presence when you like. And the more you like it, then the more you'll be more into it. And as you get over, as you do this, all the muck starts coming up, and it aligns you with the present moment almost. Well, that's what it is doing. And this is how you unblock all your chakras and everything else. It's all within the present moment. It's so simple. But you have to be dedicated. I guess I was so dedicated because I was so depressed. I just wanted a path to heal me. And I believe that's the reason why I'm so dedicated. Every second of my life I live towards this. But perfect peace and harmony exists within the present moment. And I'm just going to end it there. For latest updates and talks and news and research, please do visit my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.